we're playing around. That's what I was doing before the live. Playing around, working on other designs, trying new things, all the things. So, okay, it looks like we are streaming. So, welcome to Kat's Creations, where today I'm going to show you how to make a super simple table arrangement, kind of like a floral side table design, because they're not very big. So, you know, like how you have those places in your home where you're like, I just need a little something. Well, this is that little something, but it's going to be made, and I'm going to show you two different ways of doing it, how you can follow the same process, and with a little bit of a tweak, you could add fresh holiday greenery, which is what I've done in the years past. Keep in mind that you have to, like a Christmas tree, keep them watered if you want them to stay smelling amazing and also fresh for the whole season. Otherwise they dry out and they look quite hideous. So I'm just kind of wondering why show streaming, but let me just double check, because sometimes the things say things that aren't really there. Okay, let me look. I'm just double checking YouTube. We should be going live on YouTube and going live on the Facebook. Okay, fresh Facebook. There we go. Because I would hate to go through the whole tutorial and then realize nobody's there. So let me go ahead and put some information in the chat so I can see all of you. Let's see. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Pam. Welcome, 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 ladies. Always a pleasure to see you join the live. So we're just making super simple little centerpieces. And like I said, you can theme these for any season, any holiday. The process is exactly the same. There is some pre-prep work if you're going to use artificial florals, which I think I've had 3 of these sitting in my shop. Because once you get your can of gaps and cracks open, you want to make sure you have, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 things you want to fill it with, so that once you open the can, that's it. You can't like plug the end. You can't put a pin in the end and think that it's going to work. That is the downside of gaps and cracks, is once it's opened, you need to use it all or have a purpose for where you're going to be using it all. Let me make sure I am really quick. When I've been out in my shop today, it has been, well, it's 60 now. So when I came out here earlier today, it was a chilly 40 degrees, which is a little too chilly for me. Okay, come on. Okay, do your fancy stuff. Okay. So what do I need to remind you of? Couple things. I'm learning things as I'm going. So if you want to be notified and you're on YouTube, just subscribe to my channel. Super simple. Facebook, take a hint from YouTube. Go to YouTube. Learn how they make things super simple for their content creators. Facebook, all you have to do to turn notifications is make sure you've liked the business page. Easy enough. It's the follow. The follow is hidden under the 3 little ellipses. You click on there and there will be a notification drop down. You want to go ahead and click on the notifications, and however you want to be notified about items that I post on the page. You can put like live notifications only, all notifications, highlight items, whatever. Those are the 2 steps for Facebook. Also, if you want to save a copy of this tutorial, because I save my tutorials because I'm like, wow, that idea inspiration was so cool. I'm like, now I can't remember how to do it. I go back and watch my own tutorials. So YouTube subscribers, click the save button. Facebook followers, click the share button. Does a quick copy paste to your page. Please make sure you download it in 30 days. Facebook is not storing any of my content, anybody's video content, for greater than 60 days. So make sure you click save, and then make sure you download it to your computer not to your download file, because it's really hard to find them there. Other than that, we're good to go. I've posted the link to my website. Some new things are coming. I put out a couple teasers. YouTube subscribers, I don't get to do fun teasers with you on the social media side. So there's something big coming. It will be announced sometime the week of October 20th, so next week. And then you guys will have all the things, and I hope to have ironed all the kinks out so that I can introduce that to you. But let's go ahead and get started because your time is valuable and precious. Hi, Tanette. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Linda. Welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you guys down. Move my light. I hate putting my finger on the microphone. I always forget that it's there. Okay. I think that is it. Trying to make sure it's straight. Because like when I'm watching my videos for replay, I'm like, turn it a little bit more. Turn it a little bit more. You didn't turn it all the way. Okay, gaps and cracks. Fun little foamy container with a long straw on it. I don't have it because I gave my last can to my husband, who was putting up, he was insulating some of the cracks around our house because we have stink bug infestation and box elder infestation, so we're trying to keep them out of the house. But what it does is you will fill up whatever container you want to put them in. Halfway. Don't go any more than halfway. I know it'll seem like it's not enough. It expands. Look, it expands so much that it'll go above and beyond if you don't stop. Also, the container that you put it in, if it is like made out of basket or wood or has openings in it, that foam is just going to ooze and it's going to try to find all the places for it to expand. So make sure it is a container that is okay for your storage to go ahead and use for your centerpiece. Then the difference between this and florals is I'm using gaps and cracks because I want it for artificial florals. If you were doing this design with live florals, you would get the green wet foam. They have it at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's any other craft places out there. You know what I'm talking about. There's a wet foam and a dry foam. They both look the same, and they both respond the same. But it'll say wet foam, and it is meant for you to soak for about 24 hours. And then you pull it out, and you would put it in your container. I always recommend that if you're not sure if your container is waterproof, put a little plastic bag in there, and then, you know, put the ends on the outside. Because you would hate to fill it up with your block of wet foam and then have it seep out on your nice holiday table. So this is a reason why I am doing artificial. So, like I said, it'll expand, and I need this to expand to at least a 1/4 inch over. So with this one, I'm going to show you how we prep it. So it went above and beyond, which is nice because sometimes you want a dome. So this is what it will naturally do on its own. Then you're simply going to get your handy dandy kitchen butter knife. You want to make sure you have about a 1/4 inch. It's going to be super simple. And I'm trying to get it to go all the way to the other side. It does not have to be perfect. And if you want to save this for another design, you can absolutely do that. If you need something that is, like if you wanted to do a dome center on a smaller plate or in a smaller container, you already have your floral foam basically already pre-done. This one's actually interesting because it's got a little bit of a gap in it, which is, I mean, you wouldn't know that until you cut into it. But the top is solid, but there's a little air bubble that was in here. So with that, I am using this one because it is Merry Christmas with the infamous red truck with Christmas trees, just like that. I have a couple of them. This one, it says Merry Christmas. The one that I just cut says Happy Holidays, and it's kind of like not a red truck. It's more like the red car. It's like a wagon. And then I have one that is the red truck, but it is the back of the truck with a pine tree in it. I just have some other picks stuffed in there for now. So I get these at Shinoda Design Center, which was in Southern California. It was a wholesaler, but you can find these at Walmart. You can find them at Target. You can find them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You might even find some at the Dollar Tree, wherever you want. This is a 4.5. And I'm just going to double check the measurement. It is at the bottom, it's only like 3 3/4. So the top diameter is 4.5, as well as, I'm just double checking. Yep, 4.5. And then it's also 4.5 tall. So any rule of thumb for floral arrangements is you don't want to go taller than 2 times the length of your container. Otherwise it becomes top heavy and then it's prone to tip over. So we're going to keep ours fairly low to the ground, making sure I was doing the right one. And the first thing you can do, the nice thing too about gaps and cracks is you can spray paint it. So if you want this nice and full, if you're not sure what you want to do just to kind of hide the color, you can spray paint it. I'm not going to do it. You can put hot glue on the top. I would recommend that if you're going to do that, you use a cool shot glue gun, which will prevent your foam from melting and dissolving away. It'll allow you to kind of keep things at the top and not dissolve your foam as we go. I was told that Loctite filler is better than gaps and cracks. I haven't heard of Loctite filler. Does it come in a spray can, Valerie? Hi, JCat from, is it, you put NKY. Is that like New Kentucky? Because KY is Kentucky. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is you're going to pick your greenery. I'm doing a multi-variety of different color pines. You can get a pine pick like this from Michael's, already like prefabbed, and then you're going to break everything down so that you can add that to your centerpiece. I don't know that I would necessarily just cut the stem off and plop that in the side. You would have to fill some additional around the outside, but I guess you could. I'm looking. This exceeds that, going twice the size of our container then, so it'd be a little top heavy. So let me show you what we're going to do in breaking this down. Let me get our pine pick here, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove these all off of here. I want a wide variety of different type of greenery, dark, light, cedar. This is a balsam fir. There's that. And it's great, it has a pine cone, but it's a fake looking pine cone, so I don't feel like fake. And then the nice thing about this is you can take and you can go ahead and just start sticking these in, or if you wanted to, if you want some true lasting power, you can use your pick machine, which just adds a plastic pick to the bottom. Let's see, will this even work? My pick is so, taking that out. It is so thick. I think this is just a deformed little pick here. Let's see. What will you do? So you can put a little pick on the end. It's razor sharp. You can dip it in hot glue and put it wherever you want. The nice thing is you want a pick that has some bendability so that when you put it in, you don't have a whole bunch of things like sticking out. You want some that are able to fold and go around the sides of your cup. So I'm going to do this here. Just like that. You saw how easy that went in. Let's go ahead and pull all these apart off its little pick. And of course the center one just wants to be stubborn. I'm going to go ahead and use this again. So if you don't have a pick machine and you're like, Kat, I can't afford a pick machine, but I really want to do that, wooden skewer, figure out where you want to put it. Like if I wanted to put this one right here, like right where that bubble is, you can come in with your wooden skewer, make a nice size hole, dip that in glue, of course, and just push that in. So that is your, what do I do when I can't do the fun pick? So I am going to first green the base, just like anything in floral. We're going to start with greening the base. So I'm just going to bend these so they cascade down and around. And then I'm going to have some that obviously float to the top. Oop. Sometimes I forget how to use my pick machine. So there's that one. All you want to do is create some spacey greenery. So let there be space between them. This is why we left that 1/4 inch gap up and over. Just putting a pick on so that I can push those right on in. I know it looks a little funky right now. Trust the process. I always tell that to my private group. I know it'll look funky at first. That actually went in. It didn't look like it was a good secure fit, but it did. A couple more. Kind of like a little star sprinkled, what should I call it? Whatever you want to call it. Just like that. And I'm going to try to keep my glue threads deglued as I go through. And let's go ahead. And we'll create some on the top. There's one. Come over here and do another. And it can go pretty quick. Trust the process. Green the base first. I am also going to bring in some cedar here. Hi, Juanita. Hi, Margie from San Antonio, Texas. Welcome. Hi, Faith. I wanted to stop watch you finish your cup, but I was like, oh, I gotta go to work. But I am super excited. I want to see how that all turned out. So now we're adding cedar, which kind of help creates that lifelike quality. You can totally tell I don't use my pick machine that often. So I'm kind of taking the cedar and putting those in between the balsam. And I actually took these off of an old piece of garland I got. I wasn't thrilled with the way that it came. And I was like, I think I can break that down and turn that into a pick, which is exactly what I did. I broke it down and we're turning it into a pick. So if yours happens to have longer picks, you can just definitely use those. There's that. So I'm putting these in between where I have added my noble fir or balsam fir, whatever you want to call it. I'll snip this one off and use that as a pick. And I'll kind of put these a little bit up and over. This longer greenery gives us some movement. I'm just filling the inside and the outside. So if you were using real, I always say, hey, you know, if you go to a Christmas tree farm or you have a Christmas tree farm by you, a lot of times they have to cut the lower portion of the branches off, or they're trimming it up, just ask them if you can have some of their scraps, because you just want to use it for a holiday centerpiece. Or if you're buying a real tree and you want to save some of your scraps, you can take that and turn that into your centerpiece. So I sold my fall centerpiece, so I need something for my dining room table right now. And so I was like, well, just make, last year I made one out of real, but this year I'm going to do artificial, because then I can just put it away at the end of the year, and I don't have to worry about, hey, where's it going to go? So I'm still filling my holes around the outside. I have a couple more, and then we're going to put in another different type of greenery. Okay, got that there. Here's a balsam. Here's a leg. Oh, let's put the last one like right under here. So just, and I'm actually sticking them right into the side. You know how we have that 1/4 inch lip? That is exactly what is going in. And doesn't that look beautiful right now? Wouldn't you just want that on your centerpiece for your holiday table? Probably not, if you're anything like me. So now I'm going to cut off some of the balsam that do not have the snow off of that pick. And this pick was from Michael's, because again, color, color, color. Mixing different colors makes it look real. So now we're going to come in here and again, fill holes, different textures. And then I have like one more type of greenery that we'll be adding. Oop. Okay, come on in. I'm trying to get all the glue out as I'm going. And I'm trying really hard to make sure I'm pulling it as I place them in, and that I don't drag them all over. Like, add something here, I need to turn my project. I was like, where's my little, I had a little lazy Susan, and then I'm thinking, so you use that inside your house for staging, so that when I'm doing videos, I can just move it, turn it with my finger. This one's got a pick on it. Awesome. So filling, filling, filling. See, can we get a couple more? I don't want the ones with the snow tip. So I'm purposely going in, and I'm just taking out the ones that don't. There's that one. Oop. This one doesn't either. There we go. And that one. Okay. Couple more. We'll add some of these around the outside bottom. Taking advantage of that leverage, the little lip. Hi, Georgiana. This is a pick machine. It adds picks so that if it's something, like if you're having a difficult time trying to push a pick into a grapevine or to a centerpiece like I'm doing here, artificial centerpiece, because these don't really have a pick on them. They're just like the little ends that you pull off. So I'm adding a pick to these so it's razor sharp. Trust me, you want to make sure you stay out of the way of those. Okay. And you can start to see we're filling the holes. So I'm going to bring this one over, right in here to the side. Okay, I'm looking for my sides. There's another good one. right inside, because I like my centerpieces to kind of drape and be full. And so now we're going to take this pick. Let me pull these off. These are also a different type of, let's see, I don't even have any normal Douglas fir in here. This is similar. This is more of a flat. And I actually have cedar like this that's growing on our property. It's called the incense cedar. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it. I've never heard about it. So I'm going to put a couple pieces of this in, and it is wired all the way down. So I don't want to put them in like this. I don't want them straight. I want them to kind of have a little bend to them. So we're going to use a pick machine because there's no end on this. So now I have an end. And now I'm going to kind of bring those in. So we have 4. We're going to do them at north, south, east, and west. Oop. I completely loaded my pick, but pulled it before I had an opportunity. So there's my north. There's that one. I guess that would be north and south because I completely missed east and west. But this one doesn't really have much, so I'm not going to put a pick on it because I pulled off the bottom leaves because there was nowhere for me to insert a pick in there. Okay, there's my east. And this will be my west. So same thing, just pull the bottom off. And I'm going to bend them. So here, and right in here. There we go. Nice little piece of. All right, let's put in some piney cones. So originally I had thought, oh, you know what, snowy would be pretty, which it is. Look how good this is. If I just plop that in, snowy pine cones look great. But I want more of a natural look. So I have a couple bigger pine cones like this. And remember I told you I save everything? Okay, well not everything, but some stuff. So these I got off of a floral pick, and I'm just going to wrap these around the bottom of my pine cone stem, just like so. Let's give you a little dose of hot glue so you don't just find a way off. We'll cut this down. I'm going to make my own little picks out of old floral wire, because that's all these are. They just basically stuffed them in the bottom. I wonder how easy that would be to do. Like, let's see. Let me take my skewer. No, that's too tough. I would have to, we could use the mini drill as an option, or we can continue to wrap like I was. Just like so. So I'll do 2 ways, just in case you're like, well, Kat, mine does not have a little pine cone stem on it. What would I do? Okay, let me show you. You're going to get all things creative, and I will link this in my Amazon shop, because this has been such a lifesaver for me. So this is a Hardell cordless rotary tool. Comes with all kinds of things to sand with. Oops, trying to find the biggest bit. I'm looking. I think this is it. So you're going to depress the button. You're going to insert your drill bit. And then you're going to screw the end. When it's tight, let go. so that way it is secure in there. And then I'm going to take this. See, like this one doesn't really have a stem for me. It has a light, so I can see what I'm doing. It also has 5 speeds by pressing on the plus button. So I'm just going to sit here. There you go, it's just going slowly. Okay, so I have a small mini hole right there in the bottom. I didn't turn it off all the way. Get another stem or use 22 gauge floral wire. I'm going to put a dot of glue over the top so that when I place this inside, it'll stay. So there's that one. We'll do 2 with the twist, and we'll do 2 with the tool. Even though this one's already got one on it. But it's not big enough for me to use. So let's go ahead and put another hole in this one. I love using this tool. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and add another stem to the bottom because Kat makes her own picks. So I don't have to go out and buy them. We'll take this away. Same thing. Depress the gold button. Unscrew your end. Pull your bit out. Let go. Turn your flashlight off. Put your drill bit away. Very, very important. Put your tools away so that you don't knock them over. But it comes with all kinds of stuff. Sanding disc, cutting disc, anything you possibly could need as a creative, we have it. Okay, so that one's good. This one is good. These are the ones we wrapped slash glued. So now I'm going to tuck some of these in. And so I'm going to take the ends, kind of place those in where I want them to be. Now my centerpieces, I like to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to view that. So we are going to make sure. Don't need it quite that long though. That I put them all over the place. So there's 1. There's 2, and you can vary the heights. This one looks like it's good. We'll put this one right over here. And we'll bury the other one right over here. Just like so. And because they're wired, you can move them wherever you would like. Just like so. So far, it's coming along. It's looking festive. And from what I'm seeing trending, now don't hold me to this standard because everybody is different. It seems like people are going more natural. Not more glittery and over the top. But what are you guys seeing as far as trends? Now we're going to use red berries because we need to add a pop of red in there. But I think I want to make a longer stem. Oop. Forgot I had loaded it already. What are you guys seeing? Did the top of the picture get cut off? No. I think it's there. Zanette. If you're watching vertically from a tablet, you might have some of that cut off. Okay. So now I'm going to come in. Same thing. Look for the holes. Let's add some berries. These ones actually don't have wires in them. There's a downfall. which means you can't bend them. So I'm removing them from my prefabbed pig. There's one. Let's see. There's two. I'm pulling this one down. There's three. I think three is good. Let's do 3 berries. And then 3 berries. And then we'll add something else. Just like that. And it's kind of like a designer. You got to spin it around a little bit and look and see, where do you want to put that? I think I'm going to put this one. I don't know. Sometimes just like place and hold. Like that kind of looks cute like that. I'm thinking like that. Originally I was going to bring it over here. But I think I'm going to bring it back over here. So, because this already has a thick stem on it, I can take it and tuck that down. Look how pretty! It's getting so festive and fun. We are not putting a bow on it. I'm going to put a couple different picks in for height. I might do this one. I don't want to do the large cedar because there's a little too much, but I definitely want to bring in some height up here. Oops. So let's do that. Gonna fill in and just have some height. So leave it spacey. Leave it so it has some movement to it. This one's going to be a nice one for the center. Thanks, Faith. So this one's going to go right in the center. Just like that. So see how we've added height? And I'm looking, filling where I need to fill. Because wherever I am seeing white from that base, I want to make sure that I'm camouflaging that to the very best of my ability. Oop. We've got some over here. I've got one. And then we'll add some cedar. I had thought like I wanted to put in some Norfolk pine, but it's more of a limey green. And I'm not feeling that this year. I'm not feeling limey green. So let's just play with a couple more pieces of balsam. And now we're just filling. So I'm going to take my piece of garland. I'm going to break this down because then I have a really long pick that I can use, like maybe now's a good time to just play with things and see. It seems like it wants to go right in here. Let's see. There we go. So we'll move the balsam over and let the cedar drape. So again, look for the holes. If you see any holes, hide the holes. So I have a couple in here. Hide those with some more. And have a couple on the bottom. And I'm trying to see if I have any other greenery. Because these are the perfect things. Remember how you guys are like, why should we buy more stuff, right? Because I'm all about that too. Why buy more stuff when we already have tons of stuff? This is a perfect example of what you can use leftovers on. Leftovers that are too small to put on a wreath or to add in for fun kind of pigs. This is ideal because you get to just take all your scraps and you can mix them in. You can bring roses in here if you wanted to. Oops, trying to get that to go in. So just about finished. So let me show you what I mean by the roses. I think I have some small red ones. Let me look. Let's try. Poking myself in the eye with gladiolas because they're just too top heavy. So, a couple options if you wanted to come in and add some Christmas florals. You can come in with something like this. This is from Hobby Lobby. This is also from Hobby Lobby. So you can find like little baby roses. Cut your stems long, right? I'm not going to glue these in so that I can pull them out if I want. So let's get one really tall one, a really pretty one. Probably, and it figures. The one with the price tag on it. It's always the one with the price tag. I think they do that on purpose. So like we can add these in. So there's a rose, and I would probably do about 3. Let's bring one in over here. Maybe 5. I don't know. I'm looking. So see how all this stuff just works perfectly. That means I might want to probably put in some baby's breath too. 1, 2, 3. There's 4. Oh, that looks so pretty, you guys. Look how gorgeous that is. Let's put in a couple baby's breath. I know I have those out here. Let's find them. Okay. Because red, white, green. So Amazon sells this amazing lifelike baby's breath. It actually really feels like baby's breath. It's probably the best artificial floral I think I've seen. So I'm going to kind of come in and I'm just going to weave these in and around my rose. Little touches there. Let's go ahead and cut a bigger piece off. Spread these out because they actually have 3 stems on each branch. Bring this up and around our center rose. See the bottom one? See? We have a low, a high, and a medium. Oop. So I'm just dragging them around where I want them to wind up. Where's my good cutters? I left them over here on the table. So, low, medium, high. I'm gonna bring the lows down, push the highs to the middle, just like so. Got one around there, got one around there. I'm gonna put one more piece right to the center so that it fills on this side. Low, medium, high. And again, it looks more natural if you can take it and kind of weave it in rather than just let it stay static into your design. So just play with your florals. If you don't like your roses, remember I haven't made mine permanent. We can take them out if we'd like. just like so. I'm just bending my florals to suit where I want them to be. And then, because it's Christmas, let's add some Christmas pics. Because why not? Because it's Christmas. So I have these little Christmas packages on stems. So I'm going to tuck one in there. And I think I have 3. I do have 3. So odd numbers are good. So here's another one. I'm going to tuck this one in at the top, just wherever you feel like you need a little filler. And I'm going to tuck this one right below. Oop. I'm going to move my greenery just underneath. And there you have it. There is our perfect, and I'll show you. I'll hold it up so you guys can actually see it. Move the tools out of the way so that you can see this. But here is our perfect centerpiece for the holidays. I'm going to pivot you up so I can actually hold this so you can see it. Nothing to display on the back door. So here is our holiday centerpiece. So we have our Merry Christmas red truck. And this is all the stuff from the pick. So just rotating this around. Remove all your glue threads. Just like this. But we have pine cones. We have some red roses. Some baby's breath. Some holly berries. About 4 different kinds of greenery. And this is the perfect thing to set on your holiday table. Like, here's our holiday nightstand. You can just add that, and voila. You have a super simple, adorable, festive item that you can gift to somebody, but it's also the perfect way to just make little small touches using all your leftovers. So if you have a lot of leftovers, if you're like me, you have a lot of leftovers. So if you don't, start keeping all of your greenery that you might, like if you have 2 or 3 picks left and you're like, why save that? Get a bin and label it like winter greenery and like winter leaves. And then when you have those 2 or 3 little picks and you're like, well, it's too much to add into a holiday design, stick them in the bin. And then when you're like, oh, I need to make a bottle bouquet, or I need to make a cute little centerpiece just for like our side table or like our shelves in the bathroom or whatever. And then you can also get essential oils. You can put your essential oils in here. Do your rose fragrance. You can put a little on a Q-tip or a little piece of fabric and then tuck that in the inside so that it smells like greenery. Or you can do pine if you want that pine fragrance so that people come up and they're like, it smells like, is that real? Only you know. Okay, what else do you guys have? Yes, Diane said a candle in the center would be gorgeous. I don't have a taper would be perfect. A small taper candle would be ideal, like a nice, cute little white taper. All the ones I have are big pillar candles for like the lanterns. But check that out. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Like it, like it, like it? Super fun. Put it on your table. It's going in my house. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Come back on Thursday. We're going to have some fun with, I'm not going to give it away. Just come back on Thursday. It's Thursday at 4 p.m. I'm moving Thursday's class to 4 p.m. Because I think it works better for you guys. I don't know. Comment. Do you guys like the 2 p.m. time? Or would you prefer the later? I have a lot of people say later works good. I'm not home from work by then. So just comment. Marjorie says, would you use zip ties to support your arrangements in a breadbasket? Yes. And you know what's amazing, Marjorie? They have, let me show you. I have a couple of them. So breadbasket. Let me find find it. Okay. So check this out, Marjorie. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. So these are called dry foam blocks. Take this, stick this in your bread basket. No need to zip tie it if you don't want to. You can make it temporarily and then take it out, put something else in, and change it out for the holidays. But you can do the exact same thing we did with the florals in here. You're just going to go in a wider range, like maybe do 3 here for your florals. If you're going to put a taper candle, put your taper candle in the center. If the cage bugs you, wire cutters will remove the plastic cage. Like if you wanted to keep it here to keep all your other flowers handy, just take your wire snips and cut, and then you have your opening. Put your candle right in the center, and you've got a gorgeous floral arrangement. All right. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing time. Thanks for watching me. And don't forget, share. That helps in so many ways. I can't thank you enough. All right, everyone.